Good morning. You are listening to the Coach's Corner on KYNT. Let's go to the voice of the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles, Bryce Ladwig.
Good morning. This is the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig with you, 1019 Broadway Avenue here in Yankton. Hope you are enjoying the weather. Another sports activity has fallen victim to the weather. Yankton Track and Field, the ESD indoor meet in Brookings today, of course, canceled. You thought it was just a winter-only thing. No. It's going to follow us into the spring as well. We have a lot to talk about in the show today. We will take our first break here in a moment, and when we come back, we will talk about Yankton tennis, Yankton Bucks tennis, that is, Yankton Gazelles softball, and later in the show, I have an interview with Coach Jeff Gross of Yankton Track and Field, and then Coach Drew Lawrence of Yankton Baseball also joins the show with an interview I had with him. That's all around the corner here on the Coach's Corner, KYNT, KYNT-V. All coaches join us on the Pizza Ranch phone line, and the studio is brought to you by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab. Don't go anywhere. Stay right there. We'll be back.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer, research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
When I'm searching for self-expression, I find it on stage. Acting inspires me to be bold in my approach and get lost in my work. It teaches me to welcome new perspectives and create meaning through storytelling. Acting allows me to show my spirit at Mount Marty University. How do you show your imaginative side? Schedule your campus visit to Mount Marty University at showyourspiritmmu.com.
Spring is the perfect time of year to start upgrading your home, and what better place to start than with your garage doors? This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors, free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Home improvement season is here. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
FNBO is the great big small bank, and for more than 165 years, we've been with you where you are. A bank that's ready for all your needs, both big and small. Here to help you earn more, save more, so you can do more every step of the way. It's what you can expect from the great big small bank. FNBO, independent and family-owned for 6 generations, and ever so focused on you. Stop on by or visit us at fnbo.com, member FDIC.
Hello, here's to welcoming moments, big and small, embracing the unexpected, savoring life. At Avera, our nationally recognized health system will be right here with you, ready for anything. We listen to your goals and help you achieve them with care and coverage. We'll move you forward through sickness and health and every milestone in between. Avera, moving health forward. Learn more at avera.org/forward.
Truxedo, a real truck company, has new job opportunities for you. We are searching for motivated candidates to fill a variety of roles, including production assemblers on our Wednesday and weekend shifts, as well as an industrial engineer and mechanical engineer. Truxedo offers a positive and team-oriented environment with many perks and benefits. Come seek the new opportunities Truxedo has for you. Visit truxedo.com/careers to apply. Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig, Yankton Bucks tennis. had a duel a couple days ago on Thursday, and the Bucks defeated the Mitchell Colonels 7-2 in a home duel at the NFAA Yankton Easton Archery Center. They are now 6-2 on the season. Zachary Briggs, Harrison Kraske, Miles Kraske, Christopher Rockney, and Jack Peterson all picked up single wins for the Bucks. And the duos of Briggs and Harrison Kraske, Miles Kraske, and Ethan Marsh also secured double wins. Next up for the Bucks, home triangular Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, the April 4th. It's against Brandon Valley and Sioux Falls Roosevelt. First serve is set for 11 a.m. I was unable to catch up with Coach Ryan Haig this week. We'll try again next week and get some more in-depth Yankton Bucks tennis talk. Yankton Gazelles softball. They weren't supposed to have their first game until April 6th. They weren't supposed to have their first home game until April 6th. They were going to go to Harrisburg on Friday. It's coming Friday, April 3rd. But that field will not be ready, so they are aiming for April 3rd here in Yankton at the Sertoma Park, the Northeast, I believe, turf field. If that's wrong, it's going to be one of the two fields that are literally back-to-back, so we'll figure it out. But yeah, 6 o'clock first pitch. The inaugural season of Yankton Gazelle softball is a sanctioned sport. Very exciting times. We will catch up with Coach Jill Muth and have a pretty lengthy conversation for next week's show. We'll talk about how the first game went and even preview the next ESD matchup, which will be the following 6th. So we'll have 2 games to talk about. We'll take another break here on the Coach's Corner, come back and talk to Coach Jeff Gross of Yankton Track and Field. This is the Coach's Corner, KYNT, KYNTV.
Rodents want to make your home their home. Pesky invaders go in search of warm housing and food for the winter. An invasion of rodents can be costly and can contribute to disease and contamination of products. So trust the experts to keep them out. Olson Pest Technicians is family-owned with over 80 years of experience. Even the toughest infestations don't stand a chance. Olson Pest Technicians, putting pests to rest since 1966. Call 800-KIL-BUGS.
Think about how people really see you. The kid at the drive-thru just sees a coffee drinker.
Please pull forward.
Your local barista sees the person who loves a smiley face in their latte.
See you next time.
It's kind of the same way with insurance. Other insurance companies just see a customer, but a State Farm agent sees more. They see you as a neighbor. Your State Farm agent is here to get to know who you really are so they can help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411 today to learn more.
As a proud community bank, Core Trust delivers more than just checking and savings accounts. We invest in the cities and towns where we live and work by volunteering to coach youth sports teams, supporting local charities and the arts with our time and resources. Whether we live in a rural town in South Dakota or a suburban city in Minnesota, it's a place we call home. Core Trust Bank. Raise your expectations.
Member FDIC.
Do you have dry, sore, or irritated eyes? If so, you may have dry eye. At Vision Care Associates, we offer a simple, fast, and non-surgical procedure to treat black glands in your eyelids that can help your eyes to feel comfortable again. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Fieser to find out about dry eye treatment with our newest technology.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MTRC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
At Triple Time Rudy's, you get convenient access to quality fuel products. Plus, you'll also find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. With a local-friendly feel and unique product offering, Triple Time Rudy's is your local convenience store that supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all of your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, pull into Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
And welcome back to the Coaches Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig from the SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab Studios, 1019 Broadway Avenue, home of KYNT. I caught up with Coach Jeff Gross yesterday morning, right before they made the decision they had to cancel the ESD indoor meet in Brookings or postpone or whatever. And so we do talk about it as if it's going to happen. But Coach Jeff Gross does mention during the interview that, it may or may not happen as well. Of course, it is not due to a forecasted weather. So still a great conversation I had with Coach Jeff Gross, a little more insight into the team. It's kind of South Dakota track as a whole. As that season starts to get ramped up, it's always nice to have reminders and kind of set the tone for the remainder of the season. This was myself catching up with Coach Jeff Gross of Yankton Track and Field yesterday morning. All right, being joined by Jeff Gross, head coach of Yankton Track and Field. Coach, as always, thanks for having me and talking to me, as now we're in person. Isn't this nice?
Yes.
All right, so you kicked off your first ever head coach tenure for Yankton High School last Friday, the Mount Marty Class A indoor track and field meet. And kind of an open-ended question, Coach, but the first time of the season we'll do this. Why don't you talk a little bit about the meet? What events kind of stood out to you? Maybe some athletes that it was your first time really seeing these guys in action, these guys and girls in action. What were your overall thoughts?
Well, we've had an incredible almost 5 weeks now of practice. The kids have really bought in and kind of drank the Kool-Aid that we're serving right now, so to speak. Don't be offended by that. Those of you that know the history behind that comment, but the kids are really buying into what we're doing. We had an incredible weekend last weekend out at over at Mount Marty. Got to see the kids get on the track, compete. We had a very nice finish. As an overall team, we finished third. We finished behind O'Gorman and Harrisburg. The other schools that were there, very competitive. We had schools from Norfolk and Sioux City, Sioux Falls. So to be up in that upper echelon, running a pretty limited schedule, we didn't, push any kids really hard. Our main goal was to compete and, more importantly, come out healthy at the end. And we just had a really, really nice week last week to kind of see where we're at and just get a feel of where kids, we have some strengths, we have things that we need to work on, and just blessed to have the opportunity to compete at Mount Marty in an indoor facility given the weather conditions this year so far.
It must be nice. You kind of already alluded to it, but just as a coaching staff, you're new with this coaching staff that you have under you, just getting the first one under your belt, right? Just getting it out of the way, and now you can look forward to what is going to be hopefully a very successful but long season ahead.
Yep. I've got a great supporting cast of assistant coaches, a lot of experience, a mixture of experience and youth that we've got. We got Terry Huber and Brady Muth handling our throws right now, our shot and discus. Of course, this year, or the last couple of years, Class AA, we've added javelin as well. Coach Haynes will be helping with that, and the high jump mainly. I'll be helping a little bit myself with javelin as well, and then Coach Brady Hale also will be helping with javelin. But then Coach Hale is also taking over our pole vault this year. We've got some, on the boys' side especially, some very good developing pole vaulters there, so that's exciting to see. Coach Olson does a great job. Coach Justin Olson does a great job with our horizontal jumps. As I go and watch them at practice, I'm just very thankful for all of our field event coaches, but I'm amazed at the knowledge that Justin Olson has with our jumpers, so that's exciting, and it translates into our athletes. That's becoming very apparent. Coach Brandon Colpitz, who we're going to lose next year to Rapid City Central, does some of our sprints and hurdles, and then Heidi Savvy also does our sprints and hurdles as well, kind of a combo there between the two of them. That kind of tends to be where I spend most of my time too, so they probably find me with them more than with anybody else. And then Kate Savvy, our cross-country coach. We've got a great group of cross-country kids that had an incredible fall last year, and Coach Kate is doing a great job with our distance runners here too. So yes, to answer your question, I have a great stable of assistant coaches. We're still trying to feel each other out. I'm a typical male sometimes. You can ask my wife. I'm not the greatest communicator all the time. or I communicate things one way and maybe people don't understand it, or I'm a typical male. I'm just going to say that. But we're starting to get a handle on each other. We're all in it for the right reason. And if you're all doing it for the kids, it's real easy to overlook each other's little flaws and give each other grace. And hopefully the kids in the long run are the definite beneficiaries of that.
And Coach, I know it's not very unique just to Yankton High School, but how beneficial, this is the last coach question I have, but most of these coaches are either high assistants on other sport programs in the school or head coaches of other programs, kind of that cross-training, right? They have their own experience they can bring to the coaching staff. How beneficial is that to the athletes?
Well, I think even more than that, which you hit on, is a huge benefit, but just for kids to see coaches from other sports coaching in other sports. I mean, our goal as an activities program is to have kids involved throughout the year. It just helps with attendance, it helps with grades, it helps with accountability, it helps develop relationships. And to have the quantity of head coaches on our track staff is a luxury that I've never been afforded in any other district I've been in. You got Coach Olson, who's the head coach of gymnastics. You've got Coach Savvy, who's the head coach of cross country. You've got Coach Haynes, who's the basketball coach. You've got Coach Muth, who's the head football coach. And then all of our other coaches are assistants in other sports. So it's important, selfishly, for a track program, for people, for kids, and the community to see that track is an important sport. And, that's been a tradition here in Yankton for decades and decades and decades. And that's a luxury I've never had before in any district I've been in. So I'm really excited about that aspect of things.
Let's talk about the Mount Marty Class A indoor track field meet last Friday. Really nice facility, the Ruth Donahoe Fieldhouse. Was that your first time seeing competition in that venue?
In that venue, yep. I've been in similar venues, but Mount Marty did that right. I mean, as far as the design of that facility. Like anything, you'd love to have it be bigger, and I'm sure they would too, but eventually you run out of money. You got to draw the line somewhere, and they drew the line in the right spot. That is a top-notch facility, and I got to thank Coach Bernardo and Coach Fitzsimmons for letting us in there, Coach Becker. They use our facility here at Williams as well, but the give and take that we have with their program, our program, it's good for our kids to see college kids, just functioning at practice, warming up, doing the things that they do to get better. It's nothing but a better mix for our kids. And then you throw the Coach Rosie opportunity that our kids have as well. I've dealt with Coach Rosie in other districts as an administrator, but this is the first time that I've had the benefit of seeing it as a coach. So that's another thing. I just really am thankful to the Yankton School District, to Coach Rosie, to Avera, to the Booster Club, everybody that's got a hand in making that possible. It just adds another dimension of fitness, injury prevention, injury rehabilitation, general athleticism. It's something that not every district is blessed with, and every team, and I'm very appreciative of that as well.
Well, you and I have only sat down a couple of times, so we'll get the how we want to go through with this for the rest of the year. We'll get down pat. But for now, I'll kind of open it up to you, talk about results from that meet.
We had a fantastic meet. We got most kids in 2 or 3 events, had a couple that got into 4, some of our more experienced ones, but we're just trying to get a feel of where kids were at, get them some satisfaction for the work they've put in so far, but also to keep them hungry. And, hopefully as we're taping this, we still get to compete on Saturday up in Brookings. There's one thing I know our kids are hungry and ready to compete right now. They put in a ton of work, and they're frothing at the mouth, so to speak. Kind of the athletes that stuck out the most in Yankton last week at the Mount Marty meet, we named Shay Rumsey on the girls' side as our athlete of the meet, and then Austin Goebel on the boys' side. Those 2 athletes, Shay won 2 different events. She won the open 400 meters, took home a nice souvenir T-shirt there. They didn't have medals at the meet, but kind of the trend now for a lot of meets is to give an event winner T-shirt. So she took home not only that T-shirt, but then she was also on our girls' 4x800 meter relay that went out and set a very nice time for the first time of the year. It was Shay, Sydney Sirk, Claire Terashinsky, and Thea Chance, who completed that relay. They ran a nice time of right at about 10:30. And then we also have this year an award that the kids are picking, and it's an iron sharpens iron type award where we're really encouraging our kids to make each other better, and then we're going to acknowledge that. And Sydney Sirk was given that award for this week, so I want to acknowledge her as well. And on the boys' side, our Iron Sharpens Iron award was given to Gavin Swanson, Gavin's a senior for us. Gavin's not going to probably stick out in any individual events this year. He's going to do a solid job in individual events. But Gavin, impressive young man. I've been very impressed with him, very mature. Contributed on the football team, of course, if you remember from the fall. But his leadership, just coming, putting his nose to the grindstone, working hard every day. And he deserves that award completely because he makes everybody that's around him a better athlete, holding them accountable, not by verbally talking or anything, but just by getting to work. And those are kind of the things that stuck out in the meet in general last week. The other event winner that we had last week was Dylan Payer, and Dylan won the 2 mile, broke 10 minutes, which is an incredible, very nice spot to be at this point in the year. And then to back up a little bit, Dylan also, a couple weeks ago, unattached, hadn't started the track season yet. That's a South Dakota High School Activities Association rule where he had to compete independently from us and couldn't join the team until after he had gone and run in New York and ran at the Nike Indoor Nationals at the Armory in New York. Was a very historic track facility. Ran the 4th fastest time all time in Yankton High School history in the mile/1600 meters. And just given the history that we have in Yankton track, to run that basically as a sophomore, because he hadn't started his junior year yet, and then to run it in March, Dylan's got some high expectations this year, and I have high expectations for him. I know Coach Savvy has high expectations for him. It's going to be exciting what he can get done this year, because if he's running a 4:20 in the mile like he did March 14th or whatever that date was, and then the next day he went out and ran under 2 minutes in the 800, which is really that's the event that he absolutely loves. It's going to be an exciting spring for our team in general, just on the boys' side and the girls' side too. But to talk more about the boys, we've just got a senior group of boys. Kind of Dylan's a junior, but we've got a core group from the basketball team with Rugby Riken, Michael Moores. I know I'm going to miss some people, so forgive me with people I miss. But
Cody Oswald.
Cody's very hungry for hurdles. Things didn't quite end the way he wanted to last year. He and I spoke earlier this week kind of about his goals for the year. That lit a fire under me even more than was already lit, just to know that he has some very lofty goals and wants to win some individual state titles. And you start talking about them, the individual kids, especially on the boys' side that we have that can win individual state titles. A Rugby Riken in the quarter mile, Cody Oswald, like you said, Dylan Payer. And then you start throwing in some of the guys in the mix that we have kind of as those complementary people, the Gavin Swanson, Austin Goebel, who's got some high aspirations to win individual state titles. You got Nate Schoenfelder, another senior for us that's going to do some great things on the track this year. Maybe hasn't done things in the past that are individually recognized, but he's going to be involved in a lot of stuff. You got Cooper Grotenhuis, who long jump, triple jump, and now we're also asking him to do some things on the track that he hasn't done before. Sam Larrington, another senior who's hopefully going to get his time down in the 800 meters so that we can use him in some 2-mile relays down the road once we hit the championship season. Frees us up to put a Dylan Payer in some more individual events at the ESD meet, maybe even at the state meet. I mentioned Michael Moores, Oliver Dooley, another senior distance runner for us who's becoming frankly a very good runner and has had a very good early spring here. Right now we're missing Zach Fetty, who's been a little under the weather for a while here. Zach had an incredible finish to the cross-country season. We're waiting to get him back and praying and hoping that his health improves here. But Zach had a great cross-country season. If we can get him healthy, that's another kind of a bullet in the chamber that we can pull out of the holster and get done. But we've got an incredible group of young men. I'm not even going to mention the sophomores and the freshmen at this time who are also doing a great job. But we're going to have another dozen kids there that can contribute on relays and in open events that are going to contribute this year, and then also have a great opportunity to be mentored under these seniors that we have. Another thing that I've never been blessed with before, I talked about the coaching staff here earlier, but to have the number of boys basketball players who are just coming off their championship season. We ran a full relay in the mile relay last week of simply boys basketball players. That doesn't happen anywhere else. That's exciting to have those guys bought in here as well.
And, we talk a lot about the basketball players, they just won a state title, so it's kind of understandable. But another thing about that, Coach, and I guess part of me would probably think your answer would be you want them full-time and everything, and they're fully dedicated to track and field. But a lot of those athletes that are coming off the basketball team, too, are also still doing dual sports. They're doing track and field, and they're also participating in baseball. And just goes to show what they have on their plate as high school students and the kind of young men that they are.
Yep, and I've been an activities director prior to coming back into coaching for 14 years. I want kids to be involved in everything across the board. If they're involved in multiple sports at the same time, that's great. They have to be mature enough to understand that you can't do, I'm going to be in half baseball and half track, but doing anything halfway doesn't count. Okay, if we're a parent at home, we can't be half parent and half husband or half wife.
I try.
You got to do both. So it's a maturity thing where if you're mature enough, and our boys have been, and our girls are proving that, you got to go at them 100% for both of them, and then you can be successful at that. And that's what's exciting too with those kids that are doing that dual sport stuff. They're pulling that off and doing that very well.
So, Coach, it's a very exciting time in Yankton with the track and field program. Obviously, you use the new head coach, a lot of buzz going around. So those that may not know or really want to follow it a little closer than they maybe have in the past, how does it work with qualifying for state? Kind of how does the track season work? I know that's a really lofty question, but I think you get where I'm kind of coming up.
Well, things have kind of evolved over the past few decades. Back in the day, you had at the Class AA level is what I'm talking here now, you had 4 regions around the state, and you had to qualify at each region, okay? Then about 25 years ago, that kind of went by the wayside because some regions were weaker or stronger than others. So then you went to both the region format, where you could qualify at the region, but then there were also the automatic qualifier numbers, which that had its advantages and its flaws as well, because the weather might be different in different parts of the state. People were using different timing systems. Some were using handheld time. Some were using automated timing. So it was better, but still not quite the same. Then they went to strictly qualifying standards. And if you met the standard, then you got to go to the state meet. And now that has evolved just even a little bit more, where instead of having a standard, we just have the top 24 times or distances in any track event or field event, and those 24 athletes go to the state meet, or the top 24 that are registered go to the state meet. So sometimes you may have an athlete that may be number 23 on the list in the 200, let's say, but you may have a coach that goes, this athlete, we're going to have this person compete only in relays at the state meet, so then they don't register for them for the 200. So then some other names get bumped up into into those top 24 spots. So at the end of the year, it becomes the top 24 athletes who register for the state meet, or who the coach puts in for the state meet. Those are the athletes that qualify. Top 24 plus any ties. A lot of times in the pole vault or in the high jump, you might have a tie. The probability of having a tie in the mile or in the discus, there's just, the probability doesn't happen there quite as much. But that's basically what the qualifying is now. And then every school in Class AA, which I think we have 19 schools now, or do we have 20? I kind of lose count.
It's one of the two.
The Sioux Falls area is growing so fast, I kind of forget. And once Sturgis gets another high school built in a few years, and Harrisburg gets another high school built in a few years, that number's going to jump again.
It's 19, because T will be joining.
Yep. So every AA school gets a relay as well.
So is it all the outdoor events you said, or are certain ones marked as this is a qualifying event?
Yeah, on the AA level, all of the events that we will go to outdoors count as a qualifying possibility for the students. Yep. Even the one that we go to next week in Iowa. Yep.
And then for ESD, it's just all the ESD teams, right? There's no qualify for.
No, ESD, we've got the 9 schools, and everybody will get 3 entries in the individual events and then 1 relay. So, yep.
All right, excellent. Coach, last question, I guess. And we're recording this on a Friday morning, and you're saying hopefully there's a meet in Brookings tomorrow, Saturday, for the ESD indoor meet. Kind of what's up in the air with that, and then also, what do you think of that venue? Have you been to that venue before?
I haven't been in the venue for about 7 years now. I think I took my team from Mitchell there the first year it opened. Very exciting venue. It has an odd kind of deja vu feel to it, because it feels like you're at an outdoor venue because it's so big. You could stack a lot of hay in there, so to speak. But then there is a football field in the center of it. It's a classic 9-man field. So it's 40 yards wide by 80 yards long. But having that visual of having a field in the middle, it seems to me like it feels very fast, because all of a sudden you look at your watch and a kid just ran one lap in 39 seconds, and you're going, how did they do that? That's incredible. But then you remember it's a 300-meter track. But it's an incredible venue, and I just hope our kids get a chance to compete in that today on Saturday, given the weather conditions. So the rest of the state's kind of getting a blanket of snow, and Pierre, Aberdeen, Huron, Watertown, they're going to be covered in snow. So hopefully it rains and doesn't snow, and we get to compete.
That is the goal. Well, Coach, I really enjoy sitting down in person versus the phone. You get a lot more out of it, I feel. So I just want to say thanks for letting me into, your classroom here at Yankton High School today. And hopefully we'll talk next week about the ESD indoor track meet. Thanks so much.
Yep.
Again, that was me catching up with Coach Jeff Gross of Yankton Track and Field yesterday morning. Of course, the ESD indoor meet that he was referring to is not happening up in Brookings due to forecasted weather. But I still appreciate him talking to us about many other subjects during my sit down with him. Always appreciative of that. That was Coach Jeff Gross of Yankton Track and Field. We'll take another break here, come back, and continue the Coach's Corner on KYNT at KYNT-TV.
Buying or selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you may make in your lifetime. I'm Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate, and I'm ready to help guide you with professional advice from before the listing until after the close. Not only will you get real estate knowledge, but also we provide moving boxes and an enclosed courtesy trailer to help make the move just a little easier. Call me today at 664-5555.
First Dakota National Bank has been paving financial futures since 1872. But when it comes to supporting a community, it takes more than experience. Financial planning takes a personal touch, which is why we offer a wide range of customizable options for personal, business, and ag banking. We've been doing banking longer than anyone else, but we're first because our goals have never changed. Helping local communities plan and reach their financial success has and always will be what we're here for. Member FDIC.
You feel awful. Stuffy nose, then runny nose, the sniffles too. You don't know what to take to make yourself feel better. This is Michael with Yankton Rexall. When you feel under the weather, you want relief. but there are a lot of over-the-counter choices. Some may even interfere with daily medications you're taking. At Yankton Rexall, our staff is here to help you make the best choice for your health. Yankton Rexall, your hometown pharmacy since 1923, located in the Meridian District.
45? Got screened? It's time for your colonoscopy. Colorectal cancer is one of the most preventable and, if found early, most treatable forms of cancer. During Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, Yankton Medical Clinic General Surgeons Dr. Gary, Dr. Kampshoff, and Dr. Sirk remind you to schedule your colonoscopy. The recommended age for screening has been lowered to 45, and it's a simple, outpatient procedure in their on-site surgical center that could save your life. Yankton Medical Clinic. So much care, so close to home.
There are a lot of benefits for your small business when you have a relationship with your locally owned and operated The UPS Store. I'm Doug Frederick, manager of the UPS Store of Yankton. Not only do we provide excellent customer service, but we also provide the necessary tools to help your small business thrive. We can help you with everything ing, printing, packing, copying, faxing, freighting, any ing your small business needs, even shredding, notarizing, mailboxing, every ing for your small business, and of course, shipping. The UPS Store of Yankton, across from Walmart.
Have aches and pains taken you out of your game? Then give First Chiropractic Centers a call. We've been helping people get back into their game for over 40 years. Whether your game is sports related, like ice skating, snowmobiling, or simply shoveling snow, household chores, exercising, or daily activities, if your pain is preventing you from enjoying or participating in your chosen activity, we can help. Call First Chiropractic Centers today or visit us at firstchiropracticcenter.com. First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
And welcome back to the SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab Studios, home of KYNT 1019 Broadway Avenue. Joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line yesterday was Coach Drew Lawrence. I was able to catch an interview with him for Yankton Baseball. That is hopefully still happening tomorrow. Braden Butler will be on the call as I have an engagement in Minneapolis, but he will be covering that doubleheader versus Huron. But let's talk to Coach Drew Lawrence on the Pizza Ranch phone line. This is yesterday afternoon.
All right, let's talk with Coach Drew Lawrence of Yankton High School Baseball. Coach, we talked last week when we were preparing for some baseball, but of course weather did its weather thing, which is the entire theme of winter and now spring of games, whether it's baseball, softball, track, it doesn't matter. Games already being postponed into the spring season as well, but we are aiming for Sunday doubleheader versus Huron, but the Brookings matchup was postponed due to weather. Was that just a field condition thing?
The field is actually ready to go. I think we would be able to play it if we needed to, but Brookings is right now in a blizzard warning, and they're going to get quite a bit of inches of snow, and they didn't want to come down and not be able to play. So we would have been, it would have been difficult to try and get the field ready, but I think we would have been able to. It was kind of just a consensus of let's reschedule and figure out a different time for that one. And that goes with Huron, too. The field will be ready on Sunday. It's just a matter of how much snow they get and if they're comfortable traveling down here.
Some new field improvements. We haven't talked about this, actually, and I guess maybe didn't come to mind considering it was filled with snow last time we were talking. But some extended dugouts, a fence in front of the dugout to help with some player safety there, and there's something out in the outfield, too, the warning track. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what has all been done?
The field looks spectacular with the renovations. The YBA board has done such a good job of having a plan and raising money. Like you said, the warning track has turf now. It used to be rock out there, and when it was wet, people would slip and fall, and you'd fall on little rocks. And so we didn't like that very much, so they turfed the outfield warning track. It looks great. The dugouts are extended, and we did put fences in front of it, so now that there's more movement in there, the fences are brand new. Fences around the park are new. We put a new fence where we enclose the bullpens now. Somebody who, if someone saw it last year and has not seen any of the renovations and they come down, it makes it look really pretty down there. It's really really nice. So we're excited for the renovations. We're excited to play. Mount Marty had the first games of the year last night with JV games there, and it looked great. It looked like everyone was ready to go. There's still a little bit of things we have to slowly do to finish everything, but the field is playable.
All right, sounds good. Excited to broadcast there as well. Air conditioning, or new air conditioning up in the press box for the summer season, but we'll worry about that later. I don't think we're going to be using it too much here in the early spring. But, Coach, let's talk about the team a little bit. You had some more time for practice now instead, and just kind of how's that been going as you're leading into your season opener?
Practice has been really good. These players are ready to play. They're really hoping that we can play on Sunday and that we can actually get out on the field and compete. But, you know, the boys have been really good. You know, we have to move practices around on locations if it's super cold, and we've been inside hitting and we've done stuff like that. But they've been really resilient with that, and I really think they just want to get out there and play. But practices have been really good. We're really looking forward to starting this season. Hopefully we can do that on Sunday.
This is doubling it as our pregame interview. You will be talking to our own Braden Butler in the postgame. Coach, good luck in that matchup, and I guess we'll see you later on Sunday. Thanks for joining us.
Sounds great. Thanks, Bryce.
Again, that was yesterday afternoon. Myself caught up with Coach Drew Lawrence, Yankton Baseball, on the Pizza Ranch phone line. Always appreciate his time. Braden Butler will be on the call of that game. 2 o'clock first pitch from Riverside Field in Yankton. It's time for some Yankton baseball. We'll take one more break, come back, and wrap things up here from the Coach's Corner, KYNT, KYNTV.
Spring is the perfect time of year to start upgrading your home. And what better place to start than with your garage doors? This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors, free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Home improvement season is here. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
Bring the crew to Pizza Ranch in Yankton. This is Annie, and we have legendary pizza and chicken just waiting for you on our buffet. Let us know what you're craving, and we'll make it fresh and bring you the first slice. Or let us deliver right to your front door. Your locally owned Yankton Pizza Ranch on Broadway, 665-1222.
It's where life tastes better. Surround them up and head her down to the Pizza Ranch. Whoa, that's good.
Are you new to the Yankton area, or have you lived here your entire life and just bought that house in the corner you've loved since you were a kid? Have an agent that lives, works, and raises their family right alongside you. You may know me. I'm Skylar Sherman with Missouri River Associates in Yankton. Give me a call or even stop me in the store, and let's set up a time and make sure all of your insurance policies are right.
Missouri River Associates, 605-665-6885.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer, research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventive approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig, live from the KYNT Studios, 1019 Broadway Avenue, sponsored by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab. Thanks to Coach Drew Lawrence and Coach Jeff Gross for providing interviews this week. We'll have a lengthy conversation with Coach Jill Muth, and we'll have a couple games, hopefully, to recap with Yankton Gazelles softball, and then I will try to reach out to Coach Ryan Haig, talk to Yankton Bucks tennis. And coming up, maybe in another week or so, we will catch up with Coach Brett Syme of Yankton Gazelles golf. We're kind of letting that one sit for right now just because that is completely an outdoor sport, and they're waiting for the rest of the courses to thaw out as well. I know they've started practicing, I believe, and just kind of getting things rolling, but we'll talk to Coach Brett Syme plenty throughout the season when it gets a little bit closer. Thanks to all of our sponsors, you for watching or listening on KYNT and KYNT-TV. I'm Bryce Ladwig. This has been the Coach's Corner. Go Bucks, go Gazelles, go enjoy the rest of